Diving straight into debate number one, we put the question up very clearly. Minority government in Maharashtra, how can the BJP promise stability? Let's ask our panelists that question straight away. Good evening, Sanjay Jha of the Congress, GVL Narasimha Rao, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Rahul Narvekar of the NCP, and Sudheendra Kulkarni, columnist and author, with us here in the studio along with Sanjay Jha. First question to GVL Narasimha Rao. How are you going to give stability, sir? That's the question. You are in minority and you promise stability.
Yeah, I don't think there is any problem about stability. First, you wait and watch for a government to be formed, and then if you have any questions, then I think you can raise them. But today you have a situation in Maharashtra where the only possible outcome is a government of the BJP led by a BJP chief minister, and there is no alternate government possible in the
What government,
assembly.
Mr. Narasimha Rao?
So there is no question of any instability.
What government? Minority government? And is that the way forward across all the other states that the BJP hopes to conquer or rule?
All possibilities exist at this stage. I think, as I said, you will have to wait and watch. Only certainty at this point of time is that the BJP will form a government in Maharashtra led by a BJP chief minister. So I don't think there is any concern
Sanjay Jha, but I also
about
want to
the
bring
formation.
you in at this point because I'm just curious. At a time when the NCP had offered support to the BJP, that time you were carping saying, oh look, this is the party which was called the naturally corrupt party, and now they're thinking of taking their support. Now that the BJP is considering not taking their support and going ahead by staking claim to government and running a minority government, again you have a problem. Seems like a bit of a catch-22 situation, something that doesn't seem to please the Congress either which way. So what is your problem? What will make the party happy?
Padmaja, as far as we are concerned, we have lost the elections. We respect the verdict of the people of Maharashtra, and we are going to sit in opposition and do what the opposition is expected to do, is to protect and fight for the interest of the people of Maharashtra, ensure that the government sticks to its
what
promises.
Ajit Pawar said is all fallacy, is it? When he said that the Congress approached him to say, all right, let's try and urge the Sena to form a government to keep the BJP out.
Well, I can tell you that Mr. Pawar should stick to politics and stay away from writing bad fiction. I think that's the most ridiculous.
No, because you did that in Delhi.
Statement.
You did that in Delhi. So you did that in Delhi.
Well, I'm telling you upfront as a spokesperson of the party that the accusation made by the NCP is ridiculous, absurd, ludicrous, and completely rubbish. I think
no, but as far as a minority government is concerned, you ran a minority government led by Mr. PV Narasimha Rao, and at that time that seemed like a viable option. So why can't the BJP try their hand at it as well?
Well, let me tell you, the BJP is the single largest party, but Padmaja, you can't deny the fact that this verdict from Maharashtra is a fractured verdict. Please remember, the reason why you are having this predicament for the BJP here today is because they campaigned on the arrogance that they will get an absolute majority. So if you look at the rhetoric and the aggression...
We heard the Congress also say that we will be voted back. That there was that arrogance and confidence in the Congress. I don't know where it came from.
Anand,
and for a party that's moved from 44 seats to 122 seats, if you say that it's a fractured verdict, then...
Well, it is.
It's a bit of a question, Mr. Sanjay Jha.
That's the reason why the BJP is actually giving everybody a Diwali break and saying we don't want to rush into forming the government. Just think about it. That they actually called, and if you know Shiv Sena politics, Anand, I'm sure you do, they actually use words against Shiv Sena saying we'll convert this tiger into a mouse. Now, if you know the history of the Shiv Sena and Mr. Bal Thackeray being associated with the tiger, I mean, I can see there is going to be a very unstable coalition.
Sanjay Jha, is that every time you point fingers at the BJP and the Shiv Sena, I end up pointing it back at you, because what happened between the NCP and the Congress? Had you got 125 seats, 130 seats between the two of you, wouldn't you have joined hands again? Look, despite all the name calling that happened?
Well, I mean, that's a very
despite all the name calling that happened?
But if, yes, I mean, I cannot deny that the only party with
you
whom
would have, right? You would have.
I'm saying the only party with whom we have some kind of a compatibility was the NCP.
So what's the point?
After hearing the NCP,
so what's the point?
BJP, no, 1 minute. After hearing the NCP support BJP, I think NCP's even the plank of secularism is today under a huge question mark. I really don't know what the NCP
Direct charge, Rahul Narvekar. They say the NCP stands exposed.
Well, first and foremost, I'm a little surprised and taken aback as to how come the Congress party and Mr. Sanjay Jha particularly is so concerned about the tiger being converted to a rat or a mouse. I thought that was, they had aspired to do that a couple of months back. So now this sudden concern for the Shiv Sena is something which I think every viewer
Rahul Narvekar is batting for the Shiv Sena.
Between the lines.
Are you taking on the Congress?
Rahul,
your previous ally against
for the Shiv Sena,
or are you batting for the BJP here, Rahul Narvekar? What is happening here? The NCP is so desperate that we will support anybody who will keep us on the right side of power. Is that the case?
Well, I'm amazed at the way you can grasp things. I just said that I am absolutely taken aback
agree with
by
what
the
I say?
fact that the Congress is batting for the Shiv Sena.
No, we are not.
They seem to be concerned. They seem to be bothered about the fact that the tiger is being converted to a rat or a mouse. Till some time back, the Congress aspired to do the same thing. They wanted to convert the tiger into a rat and mouse. But today they have a problem with the tiger being converted to a rat or a mouse.
Okay, GVL Narasimha Rao, you're seeming very happy at this point. The BJP seems to think that they are holding all the cards. But the fact of the matter is that running a minority government, you will be leaning heavily on the NCP. At what cost will this support of the NCP, this tacit support of the NCP come? And you're willing to pay that cost in the future. The fact that there are a number of files against NCP leaders, Ajit Pawar, Sunil Tatkare, waiting. The Anti-Corruption Bureau has recommended action against them. Is that a cost that you're willing to pay in the future of going very slow on these charges against the NCP leaders?
No, I think the media is raising a lot of questions and is coming to its own conclusions also.
Give me a minute.
I think you have to wait for the turn of events to happen before you can actually examine them. I think please wait for the turn of events to have. I think you seem to be in a tearing hurry and you want everything known today.
No, because the people of Maharashtra will want to know. They have given a mandate to the BJP. They have decidedly not given that mandate to the NCP. But if you are having this tacit understanding with the NCP in the future, won't the people of Maharashtra want to know what is the price that you're going to pay for it? Won't it be a betrayal of the mandate that you've been given?
The people of Maharashtra are very relaxed. I think it's the news media which seems to be in a tearing hurry and wants to develop some news out of no news.
On the contrary, sir. On the contrary, sir.
Have voted for BJP. They are only waiting. They know a government is likely to be formed very soon.
No, on the contrary, sir, the mood of the BJP strategy to confuse and confound and to keep everybody waiting and guessing and wait until Diwali is also raising doubts. Is the party clear as to what it wants, Mr. Sudheendra Kulkarni? Because policy paralysis, the plank on which they try to fight the Lok Sabha elections and they've always spoken about, is something which will happen the moment they start looking at a minority government.
See, minority government...
It's a natural outcome.
Minority government is not in the interest of Maharashtra. In fact, I had said on the very first day that for the good of the state, Maharashtra should have given a clear, decisive mandate to the BJP so that it could have formed a government on its own. Now that it has not happened, the only stable way of forming a government is the BJP and the Shiv Sena coming together, because the Shiv Sena is a party that has most compatibility with the BJP.
But there is a problem there, sir.
No, if there is a problem, the two parties have to sort it out.
Because right now what it looks like is it's ego management that is happening. BJP trying to put the regional party in its place, saying, listen, you've lost, you've got only 60-odd seats, so you cannot demand. The regional party is saying, no, you have to treat us as equals.
The BJP is right, because the BJP has very clearly emerged as the largest party, with more than double the number of seats. So, the Shiv Sena has to accept the reality that it's a junior partner. And that's a democratic
That automatically comes, GVL Narasimha Rao, what if? What if the Shiv Sena doesn't accept? What if the Shiv Sena says, no, we want those plum ministerial berths, that we want an equal status?
There is no discussion on these issues so far. So we are simply waiting. If the Shiv Sena is keen to join the government, if it wants to revive ties with the BJP in Maharashtra, I think let Sena come up with a proposal.
See, there it's
obviously there are some discussions. There are some discussions scheduled, and let the process happen.
GVL Narasimha Rao, the reason why
you're keeping the Shiv Sena hanging, which is why you've delayed the decision on the Maharashtra government formation, GVL,
and which is why the question of you going ahead and forming a minority government.
I think the media wants to decide all decisions for the BJP. Please allow. I think it's the BJP's prerogative. People of Maharashtra have given.
No, so why don't you clarify? You've had a number of meetings about this. Why don't you clarify? What is it that the BJP is going to do? Are you going to go with the NCP, with the Shiv Sena?
Clarified.
Are you just decided to try and run the government as is with the numbers that you have?
I have clarified this, and my party has clarified this repeatedly. There will be a BJP government led by a BJP chief minister.
In what
I think
form?
it's
With
just
who?
a matter of a few days.
Padmaja, if I can just add a point here, you can see how duplicitous and dubious the BJP is being. They ran the campaign with an actual, attack on the NCP for corruption, and we all know that the NCP has had issues on corruption.
Frankly, so did the Congress.
So did the Congress. Frankly speaking, for us, they were a political liability.
Now,
the truth is that since the last 48 to 72 hours, they are sitting on this proposition given to them by the NCP even before the counting was officially over, that they will give them unconditional support. That is, if you believe that unconditional term. What does it tell you about what the BJP is coming
No, it tells us about the Congress who couldn't mind their ally.
What does it tell about
It tells us about the Congress who couldn't mind their ally.
But just think about it. When Mr. Prithviraj Chavan, the former chief minister, tells Anand, and let me tell you, he was the chief minister and managing the coalition, when he goes on record and publicly states that the NCP and the BJP had a very, a subterranean fixed match, you have to take it very seriously.
So you endorse what Prithviraj Chavan says. So you also stand by what his interview just on the eve of polls, when he talked about a few Congress leaders and their taint on corruption, which was not charged.
He clarified.
So there you will decide to change your statement. But when he says that there was a tacit understanding with no proof whatever, then he was very serious.
No, I'm quoting him both times. You see, he denied that the fact that he had made those statements. And as far as
if the BJP today denies or the NCP denies that there is no tacit understanding, you're unwilling to accept that.
Let me tell you, Anand, if you remember, the BJP and Shiv Sena officially announced their split, and within minutes, literally within minutes, the NCP comes on a public platform and says, we are breaking up with the Congress. Now, I think that's not a cosmic coincidence.
Where is the BJP and the Shiv Sena to blame about this tacit understanding? Because this is the NCP which has spoiled the plot altogether. Rahul Narvekar, the NCP clearly stands exposed here. What is it that made you offer that outside support? And if you're saying stability of Maharashtra politics, let me ask you, if it comes to vote of confidence, will you abstain? If the BJP minority government tomorrow says, no, we are going to pursue and investigate all those charged under corruption in the irrigation scam and the likes, will you still vote for them? Will you still allow them to pass bills?
I'm just, it's so ridiculous to even come to the conclusion that you have come to. Do you believe in the judiciary of this country, or you all have all given up on the judiciary of this country? Do you think a particular government...
Sir, we believe the judiciary of the country and the judicial system. We don't believe the politics
or any
and the political parties.
The judiciary is going to... The judicial system is going to... No, what are you talking about? We've got a vibrant judiciary. If there is a government which does not act, the judiciary intervenes, and rightly so. So let's not undermine the judiciary, and this concept and fundamental issue that you have, that there's some kind of a tacit understanding, is nothing but rubbish. Number two, Mr. Sharad Pawar has already clarified that the NCP is not going to be a part of this government, is not going to take part in any of the decision-making process. So that, I think, settles the issue once and for all.
So Rahul Narvekar, you will continue with your support to the BJP government, even if they start investigations against Sunil Gadkari and against Ajit Pawar, that support will continue? You're saying that on record?
Madam, the investigations are already on, just for putting the records right. Please check your facts properly before you make such absurd statements on national television.
No. If action is taken against both of these leaders, of course investigations are on. But when it comes down to the action, your support will continue?
Yeah, so then what are you talking about? How can anyone stop any kind of action if it is required to be taken? That's what I'm trying to tell you, that the ball is not in the court of the government. There's a judiciary.
So on what conditions, Rahul Narvekar, have you offered this unconditional support?
Of this country. And number three, let me tell you something which is very, very important and
if anybody believes that, I think God bless us.
There was this big hoo-ha-ha being created
Go on, Rahul.
No, Mr. Jha, you need to listen to what I'm saying right now because you won't have an answer for that.
No, go ahead, Rahul.
When there were allegations of corruption made on NCP ministers, number one, Mr. Ajit Pawar stepped down himself and tendered his resignation. We demanded that a white paper should be presented in the assembly. We demanded that the Chitre committee which was appointed to investigate this matter, the report should be tabled immediately. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Prithviraj Chavan, on 3 successive occasions in 3 sessions of the assembly.
Rahul Narvekar beautifully glossed over the facts. Let's not get into the fine print because there was a lot that happened. There was a lot that happened. Ajit Pawar didn't of his own volition step down as the Deputy Chief Minister. And there was a lot that was done to try and tweak that white paper that was produced.
Anand.
No, Rahul Narvekar, the point of my question to you is the party that continued to take on the BJP and also went on record to say we will never support the BJP because we are totally different on ideologies. Your own chief has gone on record saying that. How is it that you stand today and say we are ready to offer outside support unconditional?
Rahul, Mr. Pawar referred to Mr. Modi as Adolf Hitler. He raised
Anand,
Gujarat 2002 riots and suddenly everything is forgotten. I mean, I can't believe how you can do a sudden U-turn and that to such a dramatic and, at such remarkable speed. I mean, even before the election results were over, you provide support. And, Anand, a lot of people have speculated that was the NCP making that announcement after having some kind of a tacit support of the BJP? Because it strengthens BJP's hand in negotiating with the Shiv Sena.
No.
That is why
Sudheendra Kulkarni
is that they have...
Can I come in?
Yes, GVL, just a second. I'm just getting a word in from Sudheendra Kulkarni. He's been silent for a while and he's got a smile on his face. What is all that about, sir?
No, I'm smiling at the nature of the discussion, if it can be called discussion at all. See, the people of Maharashtra have voted, and what they are concerned about is first government formation and a government that is going to remain stable for 5 years and deliver on its promises. It has the verdict is fractured, so there has to be a coalition government or a minority government. Minority government is likely to be less stable. Just one moment. One moment, please.
Yeah.
If the minority government is to be avoided, then you must give time for the BJP and the Shiv Sena to talk things through. These are difficult negotiations. The media should not,
Sir, if there is,
this is what is happening.
With all due respect, Mr. Kulkarni,
just a moment,
there is not a single iota of the inclination to talk. So then what would you want to say in a situation where neither the Sena nor the BJP are willing to make the first move? The BJP is very clear that you have to understand that you no longer call the shots. It's not like 1995 where you'll get the lion's share of the pie or an equal share of the pie.
They have already started talks. And the media should give time for the two parties to sort things out and deliver on the promise of a stable government.
Okay, GVL, would you want to respond to that? You've got your finger up. Yes, GVL.
No, I was wanting to inform Mr. Jha, maybe his association with the Congress Party has not been long enough, but the very origin, the very birth of NCP had certain serious problems with the Congress leadership. I think these leaders,
how is that
Mr.
relevant
Pawar,
to this discussion?
Let's not go back to the birth of the NCP. Answer specifically the point that Sudheendra Kulkarni has raised. He's saying that the mandate has been given to you by the people to run a stable government. Then why not go back to your ideological partner, your ally of past ally of 25 years, which is the Shiv Sena? Or are you going to do that and you just want to use the time that you've given them, the delay that you've made to use it as a bargaining chip?
No, there is absolute. I think you're missing the big point. You're missing the larger point. The BJP is not short of a majority by a big margin. We are short of numbers, a limited number of MLAs.
How many, sir? Are you counting 138 now or 122?
Hung house, there could have been.
Are you counting 138 now or 122?
No, whatever number of people, you see, it's not just our number. There are others who are offering support.
No, in trying to talk about
And
the
there are
larger point, you're
independents
also
who are
trying to
offering
gloss
support. We
over
have
the
no difficulty.
particular
We have
point
no
that Sudheendra
difficulty in
Kulkarni has
taking
raised.
support
That if
of
you
the
want to give
smaller
a stable
parties.
government, which you promised the people of Maharashtra, are you going to go back to the Shiv Sena as Mr. Kulkarni suggests you should?
No, I think, as I said, all options are open at this point of time.
So the option of
party
forming a
would
minority
consider
government in
its
Maharashtra is
wisdom.
also open.
Every option exists. Constitutionally, whatever options are available for forming a
Sir,
government,
which is option number
the
one?
BJP would consider all the options.
Which is option number one? Minority government with outside support from whoever gives it?
Yeah, I think the moment it is announced, I think you will come to know.
But yeah, because GVL, because had that not been an option, you would have turned the debate on its head right at the top by saying, sorry, we are not forming a minority government in Maharashtra. You have not said that.
I'm saying
it looks
all
like the anchors of
viable
the show
options
have
are
got the brief or are arguing the brief of Shiv Sena. It looks like the anchors on this show today or tonight are
No,
keenly
contrary to
interested
No,
what you
Rahul
said,
Narvekar,
we were
you
only
have-
taking forward
and
the point
ensuring
that
that
Mr.
Shiv Sena
Sudheendra
becomes a
Kulkarni
part
had
of this
raised.
government.
Please.
It looks like you have taken the
It
brief
looks
to get
absolutely
Shiv
wrong
Sena
to you.
be a part
Absolutely
of this
not.
government.
It's only a
The
point that
BJP has
Mr.
got the
Sudheendra Kulkarni
mandate.
raised, which you were taking
BJP has
forward.
got the mandate. Let BJP decide. Let BJP decide.
Why are you
You're
getting
asking
worked up,
them
Rahul
the
Narvekar? The question is to the BJP. The question is to the BJP. We are
I'm just
asking the
amazed at the way
BJP the question.
you are
Now, this
insisting-
outside
you are
support is
insisting
now
that a
translating
particular
or
party
turning
should
out
be a
into
part
a
of the
vehement
government.
support.
I'm just amazed at your persistence.
No, our persistence is to try and find out the right answers. Two parties totally, deviant on ideologies. How is it that the NCP turns
what is
around
the
and
right answer? The right
has
answer is
the
what you want to
chameleon
hear
effect
and
on
what
it?
you think.
No, the question is, we are asking what is the right thing to do, and we are asking the BJP, which has got the largest mandate from the people. We are asking the BJP, what are the numbers,
let the
122
BJP
or
decide.
138?
That's
If it is
exactly what
138,
the
is
mandate
the
to the
inclination to
BJP
form a minority government in Maharashtra?
Now,
Leave it to the BJP.
the mandate is.
We
with
are
the
asking the BJP.
and people have vested this responsibility in the BJP, and the BJP owes the responsibility to the people of Maharashtra. We are deliberating all possible options. We are not going away from our responsibility to form a government. We
Sir,
can take claims
please,
as soon as we are in
you
a
have to
position
say
do it.
responsibility to form a stable government, because that's the promise the party made to the people of the state.
We will certainly form a stable government. What
So what
makes
do you want
think
them
it
to
is
do?
not a stable government?
For the sake of forming a stable government, they should compromise on the mandate which they've got from the people.
Not at all.
If people wanted Shiv
So
Sena,
that is why so far they have not directly and openly welcomed the NCP.
Let Bharatiya Janata Party decide.
We are asking the Bharatiya Janata Party, Rahul Narvekar, why are you getting nervous?
And Mr.
Are you
Narvekar
afraid that
earlier said
GVL
Sanjay
Narasimha
Jha
Rao
of
would
the
say
Congress
here on the
seems to
Newshour
have a
tonight
certain affinity
that we will
for the
never
BJP?
take support from the
You seem to have
NCP?
a affinity all of a sudden for the BJP. Standing up for the BJP spokesperson, shielding him from questions. What's happening?
It doesn't make us
Padmaja, Rahul is
it
doing
doesn't
his own
make us any
competitive
difference
bidding.
whether a particular party takes our support or they don't. The question is, we are interested that a stable government should be formed in Maharashtra. Today, the mandate given by the people is not absolutely clear. No one has got absolute majority. In the scenario, there are only two options left. Either Bharatiya Janata Party forms the government or all the other parties form the government. The second option is not an option at all. Therefore, the only option left is Bharatiya Janata Party forming the government. And if we need a stable government, if we need to give outside support...
So will you sit in the opposition if the BJP forms the government with the Shiv Sena? Rahul Narvekar, since you are jumping to the BJP's defense, let me ask you this. Will you sit in the opposition or will you support the Bharatiya Janata Party even if it goes ahead and forms the government with the Shiv Sena?
Our paramount interest is that a stable government should be formed in the state of Maharashtra.
So
From the
BJP...
scenario that we see today, that is not looking likely. Therefore, we have
Why is it not
extended
looking
our
likely?
support.
Why
Now
is it not looking likely?
Bharatiya Janata Party to decide.
Why is it
how
not
they
looking
form-
likely to you, Rahul
how they
Narvekar? You
form-
seem to know a little more of what's
What is
happening
not
between the
looking
BJP and
likely
Shiv Sena.
is-
So tell our viewers.
Absolutely. the position right now is that no single party has got absolute majority, and therefore unless someone supports the party with the largest numbers, there won't be a stable government in this
So
state.
are you trying to say
Therefore,
that the
party which
BJP
has
is
got
going
the
to form the
mandate and
minority
largest
government in
number
Maharashtra
should
and
be
you will support
supported
it?
by one of the parties?
Are you trying to say that the BJP, you know, even before the BJP has
That is
decided
for the
itself,
Bharatiya-
you know very well that the BJP will form a minority government in Maharashtra and you are going to support it? Is that what you're saying?
The Bharatiya Janata Party has to decide how they are going to form the government. We have done our duty.
So when I ask you, if the Bharatiya Janata Party decides it will form the government with Shiv Sena, will the NCP still offer this offer outside support?
There, the position we have offered what we had to. The conditions there were that there
See, you're skirting the question. When it becomes uncomfortable for you, you skirt. You skirt the question, you skirt the entire issue altogether when it becomes uncomfortable for you. But just wait on.
I've given you.
Let us just bring in the other panelists, please. Rahul Narvekar, just wait on. My question to GVL Narasimha Rao very clearly is, sir, there is also a national picture. You have decided that you want to go and try and conquer other states too, given the fillip that you have got with your victories in Haryana and Maharashtra. Please let me understand, is this the line of thought of the party that coalition dharma is painful, allies and coalition as much as avoidable, let's not do it, so even if you're in the minority, let's form the government? Is that a thought which the BJP is actually very actively pursuing?
No, I think it is what the media or what Times Now possibly has analyzed. You have a right to analyze the way you want to, but here in
are we right or wrong, sir?
Maharashtra, we wanted to have this coalition going. We wanted to go into elections with Shiv Sena. Otherwise, we would have broken this alliance. We would have separated months before, and we would have got a big mandate. The reason why we did not get the numbers is because we were forced at the last moment to go into this election on our own without adequate preparation. Otherwise, we would have got a much bigger mandate. So the intention from the BJP was to keep this alliance going. We made every effort to keep this going, but there has to be a reasonableness on the part of
GVL Narasimha Rao. GVL Narasimha Rao, just wait on. Sanjay Jha wants to come in. Sudheendra Kulkarni also wants to come in. But GVL Narasimha Rao, you also not answered the question. You said Times Now has made an analysis. I asked you straightforward, is our analysis right or wrong?
No, I have told you, I think you have heard Mr. Amit Shah speak. Did you hear his speech on Sunday or not?
So you are saying we are right in assuming or making this analysis or this derive this out of what is happening?
Please understand, what is the essence of our party? What is the essence of our party president's media conference on Sunday? He said we are keen to go with the allies, but I cannot have a situation where I have to compromise, I have to sacrifice the interest
no, but Mr.
of my
Narasimha Rao,
Karyakarta.
while that is what might have been said at the press conference, isn't it a fact that in the highest echelons of the party, there is a thinking that it's time that the BJP grew on its own across all states, whether it be, of course, all the focus has been on Maharashtra and the split between the Shiv Sena and the BJP, but that same thing happened in Haryana as well just before the elections. And isn't it true that you're also trying your hand at the same strategy, or you will try it in other states as well, and perhaps the biggest casualty could be Punjab? Or are there alliance with the Akali Dal there?
Speculation, and I would say a lot of this is quite reckless speculation, but you are entitled to do it. And have we not been proved right in Haryana? Did you not hear our party president articulate this during Sunday's press conference? He said the party which was demanding half the number of seats, really, you know what is their real performance on the ground compared to the BJP's performance in Haryana. So the message is very clear. We want to have allies. We want to work with all our allies, both
no, but you have realized that after breaking the alliance, you made the right decision and you actually fared better in both Haryana and in Maharashtra. You ended up getting more seats than were being offered to you by your allies. So it's an experiment that's worked for you, and you're going to try and work it in other states as well, GVL.
I think the message is very clear, and I don't think it needs any further explanation. I think the BJP wants to certainly wants to have a coexisting relationship with all our allies.
Keep saying the same thing, which
it
was said
has
in
to
the
be-
press conference.
it has
But
to be
GVL,
the terms of-
and tell us
please
what the
understand.
GVL Narasimha Rao.
Yes, Sanjay Jha,
The
you wanted to
terms
come
of
in.
engagement, the terms of
Padmaja,
engagement
the
have
point
to
I
be
wanted to make was
satisfactory
that,
to both sides.
You see, the NCP truly has cleared the pitch, because I agree with what Sudhin said, that the BJP and the Shiv Sena, and everybody knows it historically, not just 25 years of their association, are natural allies because they have the common
Hindutva
platform. That is an ideological compatibility that really keeps them even today, despite the vicious and an extremely acrimonious political exchange during the campaign, still keeps them close.
Then where is the problem, sir?
And therefore, the role of the NCP here, in my opinion, is in a great number of ways hugely questionable, because they have done by making an open, unconditional offer.
No, my question, Sanjay Jha, is what NCP has done to your alliance, what NCP has done to your alliance, and whether or not they have cleared the pitch depends entirely on the BJP. What is the BJP's thought, Sudheendra Kulkarni? Is it right or wrong when we say that they want to say we will have allies, but the terms are my way or highway?
See, in the situation of a hung assembly, it's the responsibility of all political parties, and especially the largest party, to ensure that the state is not pushed to another election soon, or the state is not brought under president's rule. That's not in the interest of the state. And therefore, I think the BJP is conducting itself very responsibly. It is making the situation known to its potential ally that now the BJP is a senior partner, the Shiv Sena is a junior partner. The moment the Shiv Sena understands this, I'm sure that there will be a perfect
So you're saying the BJP is waiting for the Shiv Sena to come around?
Of course.
No, but hang on.
No, and how long?
How long will But Mr. Rao is keeping his option very open, Sudhin, on a minority government.
Let me ask you. In case, this is hypothetically speaking, if the Shiv Sena says we don't want to be part of the government, then in the interest of a stable government, or at least any kind of government, isn't the BJP right in saying that let's have a minority government?
Is it?
The alternative to that is president's rule.
Fair enough. Let me answer that. My question to you, my reply to you is with a question. Would you really believe a BJP government, if it forms a minority government with the support of the NCP, that any of these investigations that ought to happen against, well, some of the ministers in the NCP, you think they will really happen in a neutral, dispassionate way?
First of all, there's a difference between a minority government and a government supported by the NCP, because if it is supported by the NCP, it's no longer a minority government.
No, one sec. It's no longer a minority.
My question is,
1 minute. The question at this point, the question at this point is about ethics to the BJP. How can you take support from a party which the Prime Minister of the country has stood there as a representative of the BJP talking about the party and his vision and called a naturally corrupt party?
Made a statement by the Prime Minister of India.
So the BJP's position, sir, is again questionable, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, because on the day Praful Patel stood there and said we are offering outside support, the BJP's first response should have been, sorry, thank you. We don't need support from you. We will never take support from you. Nobody from the party has said that. Why?
I don't know why the media wants to run the BJP's affairs. I think it's the prerogative of the BJP to react in a manner that is in the interest of the people of Maharashtra.
Why don't you replace prerogatives with responsibility, sir?
I think the media wants to decide everything for the BJP. No, you see, we have not sought support. They have offered support, which they clearly said is unconditional. So what is there for us to discuss?
No.
What do you expect the BJP to do?
But the problem issue here, sir, is the interest of Maharashtra. The larger interest of Maharashtra for the NCP might be divergent from the larger interest of Maharashtra for the BJP, because they are two naturally different parties as far as ideology is concerned and also outlook is concerned. Where will the twain meet?
What is the meaning of unconditional support?
Sir, the unconditional support is wrapped in a bundle of conditions that you very well know. So does the NCP and everybody who's watching the show, sir.
No, that is what you think. That is what you think. And if we form a minority government, and I'm giving you a hypothetical scenario, if we form a minority government, and if it continues to retain majority in the House, because somebody abstains, it could be NCP, it could even be Shiv Sena, it could be somebody else. Does that make the BJP's position any weak? We will remain in power.
On that point.
Until the last hour we are in power.
You have suggested.
And until the last hour,
Sanjay Jha says that the NCP and BJP are playing political footsie. The other one running a minority government. Do you think that it's a dangerous game that the BJP is playing? What do you make of it?
No, I'm not saying the BJP is playing a dangerous game. The BJP, having been elected the largest party, is now engaged in a somewhat difficult effort of government formation. You must recognize that the process is going to be difficult, it's going to take time. After all, they have a responsibility to the people, first to form a government and then to ensure that it is stable. And in this situation, they're going to have, and they're actually having already a certain negotiations with the Shiv Sena, and I think that over a period of time, it's going to fructify.
Here, sir, you know, if you look at the way it is developed...
GVL want to respond to that because Mr. Kulkarni is very confident that irrespective of what you're saying or not saying or doing right now, ultimately that's what it's going to be. You are going to return to your 25-year-old partner. GVL, you want to respond to what Mr. Kulkarni just said?
Can you repeat that for me? I have some audio problem. Can you just
Yes, Mr. Kulkarni just said that you're involved in a very difficult set of negotiations over the last few hours, but he is quite confident that at the end of it all, it's going to be the BJP Shiv Sena that Maharashtra is going to see forming the government.
Yeah, I don't see any difficulty at all. I think to the analysts, I think you might think because a decision has still not been made in Maharashtra while we have made a decision in Haryana, you might possibly think there is a difficulty, but I think we still have time. Even in Haryana, the Chief Minister will be sworn in on the 26th of October, which is 5 days from today. I think that's more than enough time. I think within this time frame, I think we will certainly be in a position to really complete all the formalities.
Are you saying, GVL Narasimha Rao, that soon after Diwali, before the 26th of October, Maharashtra will know who's going to be the Chief Minister and the BJP is going to form a minority government or a government in majority with the Shiv Sena? Are you trying to say that's what's going to happen?
I think it's... I'm also, you see, at this point of time, I don't have any specific information, but I certainly think it's not going to take longer than that.
Now, my question to Sudheendra Kulkarni here is, you have GVL Narasimha Rao here, we have the developments through the day. 122 seats, suddenly they've got the support of all the independents. They're also trying to woo the one lone MNS candidate to defect, and he can do it without a problem. Whether or not that happens, we have to wait and watch. They're saying they'll couple up the numbers somewhere close to 138. In that kind of a scenario, what is the BJP going to do given the current frame of mind the senior leadership is in? Will they take the support of the NCP from the outside, tell the Shiv Sena you give us issue-based support from the outside, let's go and form the government so that the NCP abstains if there is a vote, the majority, House majority comes down, they have the numbers, they run the government. That, or are they going to reach out to the Shiv Sena, which is throwing up its tantrums, which is trying to say that, trying to put up a face of bravado and say, treat us as an equal even if we have lost and you've beaten us hollow. Which is going to be more easier for them?
I want to reiterate,
manageable.
I want to reiterate the point that there is a certain difference between a minority government and a government that is supported from outside. In 1999, the NDA government led by Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji did not have complete majority, but it had the outside support of the Telugu Desam party. It was not a minority government. The Telugu Desam party gave in writing to the President of India that we are here to support the NDA government. A minority government is Narasimha Rao's government at the center, which really did not have a majority in the House, and yet it continued until it converted the minority into a majority. That's a different issue. In the case of Maharashtra, if there is no other option, the BJP would be well within its rights to form a minority government because the state,
they are well within their rights. I'm asking you, which way is the tilt? Which way is the tilt?
No, I have already stated that the likeliest scenario is the BJP and the Shiv Sena coming together and forming a government. The negotiations are already on, and the two have a certain compatibility. There have been certain problems in the past, but they owe it to the people of Maharashtra that they rebuild a certain level of trust which is required for providing both stable government and good government.
But
all right, but before we run out of time, it seems you're a little out of time, but before we let you go, GVL Narasimha Rao, a final question. Sanjay, just a second, a final question to GVL Narasimha Rao. You're talking about stability, but at present in your state unit, there seems to be no agreement also on who your chief minister is going to be. So far, we'd seen almost unanimity behind the name of Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. Now, suddenly we have all these MLAs going to Mr. Nitin Gadkari's house, and his name is emerging as a very strong front runner. What's happening there? You're talking about a stable government. What about a stable chief minister? Who's your chief minister going to be?
And is this the NCP effect, sir?
No, as I said, I think you will have to, that meeting still remains to be held. Wait for this. I think it will happen soon. I think that's the only decision, I think, in my opinion, that's the only decision that the MLAs will have to make. The leadership will have to make. There is no question about the moment that decision is made. I think a stake for.
All right, GVL Narasimha Rao, to every single question that has been posed to you about when are you going to form the government, with who's going to be a chief minister, your simple answer seems to be you will just have to wait. It seems that no answers on that front are forthcoming. But with that, we have to come to the end of our debate number one. Thank you all, gentlemen, for joining us on this debate. Sanjay Jha, Sudheendra Kulkarni, Rahul Narvekar, and GVL Narasimha Rao. Heading into a very quick break now. Back in a couple of minutes with our second Newshour Debate.